Hey guys, Luis Moreno here with Simply Health Insurance Agency. Today I'm going to respond to a comment that I got on one of my videos from one of the subscribers. Now, I am going to start off by saying I'm not the person's agent. I don't know who they're with or even if they have an agent, but I think the comment is legit. I think it's a legitimate complaint. And here is what it is. And then I'm going to share with you the answer to this or how I'm going to respond. But the response is this. I am sick of paying for insurance just to have to pay 100% out of pocket for everything, because if I need emergency care, I have to contact the insurance company before the emergency. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know if I'm needing this if it's an emergency? It's all a scam, extorting us to pay for this Ponzi scheme. All right. Well, let's see how we're going to respond to this question or this legitimate complaint. So first thing is I'm going to respond. Well, before I even do that, guys, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I would definitely appreciate that. But here's what I would tell you guys as insureds, what you need to do. Number one, you need to know your plan. Don't just enroll on the plan because it's a $0 plan. Okay. And you're like, okay, great. And you expect the world when you pay nothing. Okay. Secondly, paying more doesn't mean you're going to pay less when you need healthcare. You have to study the plans. Okay. Now, if you're an insured and you're like, I don't know insurance, well, then get an agent, get a good one. I mean, how hard is that? Go search out a good agent to explain this to you. Now, if you're my client, this is the way I would handle you. All right. So first thing is, let's get in here and I'm going to run a quote. Okay. I don't know the demographics of this person, but I'm going to make it up. So let's say I have a 35-year-old female. Okay. And let's assume she is making $25,000 a year. She's single, no dependents, and she files just for herself. So I run this information and this is what I get. Okay. So I'm just going to stick with one company so we don't mess it all up. But based on the way this is set up, assuming this is a plan we're going to go with, here's what you need to know. You need to know what your deductible is. You need to know what your out-of-pocket is. Okay. You need to know your copays and you need to know your coinsurance. And if you're uninsured, like, how am I supposed to know that? Well, again, why are you buying insurance without an agent? Because they should be explaining this to you. Or maybe you did go to an agent and the agent didn't explain this to you. Well, then I would say your agent sucks. You need to get a better agent, because my insureds, I explained this to them. And I'm going to show you exactly how I explain it to them. So the one bad thing about this quoting system here is I don't have coinsurance. And I'm going to explain all this to you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is the most important document you can get. It is called the Summary of Benefits. Okay, so here is now they're not all the same. Okay, these summary of benefits are all different. They are specific to that one plan. So this summary of benefits is specific to this. If I want to get this one down here, I click on it, it's going to be different. So let's go look at the summary of benefits. This thing tells me that I have a $700 deductible. I know that. Okay. It tells me that I have an out-of-pocket maximum of $3,000. Okay. Then I need to go find my coinsurance. And then I scroll down, I see here 30%, 30%, 30%. I see a lot of 30%. So my coinsurance is 30%. Now, a couple of things to know. I have copays too. If I go see a doctor, the deductible does not apply. It's $20. If I see a specialist, again, a $40 copay, deductible does not apply. You have to read this. You have to pay attention to details. Okay. Otherwise, they come and bite you in the butt. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here are my copays for prescriptions. Again, deductible does not apply. All right, let's keep going. All right, now she mentioned emergency room. All right, if you need immediate medical attention, okay, here is what you have to deal with. The emergency room, 30% coinsurance. Okay, Medical transportation, 30% coinsurance. Okay, urgent care, deductible does not apply. So if you don't see this deductible does not apply, then you have to meet the deductible first. So it's a $30 copay. All right, we're going to focus just on the emergency room. Now look over here. Okay, emergency care. Okay, on limitations, there's none. You go wherever they take you. If you're traveling and you're gonna die or you have a car wreck, whatever, you end up going to, you just go to the ER. Okay, you don't have any limitations. It's considered in network. Pre-authorization may be required for non-emergency transportation. So if you're at home, let's just say it's you and your spouse is having a heart attack, you call the ambulance, 911 isn't an ambulance, they take your spouse to the ER. You don't have to worry about a network. Okay, emergency care has no limitations. So I don't know what plan you have now. You're like, well, that's because that's one particular plan. Let's go pull up another one. Let's go look at United. Okay, I go to United and let's make this a little bit bigger. And let's go to emergency care. Same thing here. Look, magically, what are the limitations on the emergency room or ER transportation? None. That's with United. Let's go to a different carrier. Let's go to Aetna. Okay, now we're looking at the Aetna plan. We go here. If you need immediate attention, emergency room care. Out of network, emergency room care costs share the same as in network. No coverage for non-emergency care. Ugh. If you go to out of network and it's not an emergency, I'm sorry. If you go to the ER and it's not an emergency and it's not in a network, kind of screwed. It better be an emergency. Okay, that's bottom line. Okay, and again, the transportation, the ambulance. Look, in network, out of network, it's the same. I have no idea what this person is saying about it's not, I have to call the insurance company. I have no idea. Okay, so that's Aetna. Let's keep on going. Let's go prove the point. Let's go find another carrier. Oscar. Let's see what Oscar does. Okay, we go to emergency care. Okay, this is the Oscar summary benefits. I go to page 3 here. No, they're going to be on page 4. If you need immediate medical attention. Okay, let's see here. Hospital stay, how do they have? Oh, right up here. If you need immediate medical attention, ER 30%. This is the in-network column. Here's the out-of-network column. It's the same, 30%, 30%. Emergency room care by an out-of-network network provider is covered if the services are for an emergency condition. It has to be an emergency condition. So I don't know what this individual is having to deal with. Maybe they don't have an ACA plan. Maybe it's something else. But if you have an ACA plan, guys, I've been doing this for so long, you do not have to worry about dealing with whether the hospital where you're going to go get emergency care is in network or not. Now, if this is not an emergency, you have to go to an in-network hospital. Okay, if it's an emergency, you go where you need to go, and that is it. Very, very simple. Now, let's get back to the cost. Let's assume you go to, it's an emergency, and you go to this emergency room at this hospital. What are you going to have to pay? All right, so let's go back. And let's go pull the one that we were referring to. Let's go to page 1. Sorry for all the scrolling. Right here, this one plan, $700 deductible, 30% coinsurance, $3,000 out of pocket. All right, now we're dealing with this particular plan. Now, this is the way that I explain it. All right, so we know this. Okay, so I have a $700 deductible. I have 30% in coinsurance. And I have a $3,000 maximum out of pocket. Now, I took my daughter to the ER. a couple of years ago. She was like maybe 5 or 6. She had a UTI, but she was screaming. I didn't know what to do. So took her to the ER. All right, we were in there for about an hour. Only thing they did is they gave her some juice. We were gone. All right. My bill was $4,000. So I'm going to use a sample $4,000 bill. Now, the first thing on this $4,000 bill, you are on the hook for the deductible, which is $700. Now, the good thing about this is it's an annual deductible. So once I've met this, I don't have to meet it again, but it is per person, and up to 2 people in a family need to meet it. All right, that leaves me with $3,300 left over in the bill. So I'm going to have to pay this. Okay. Yeah, that's my unhappy face there. Now we're going to take the remainder of the bill and we're going to split this 70% the insurance company, 30% you. Okay. So you're on the hook for 30% of this, but there is a limit to this. Remember, that's what this maximum out of pocket means. That's the limit. So if my limit is $3,000, I've already spent $700 because of the deductible. So now I have to spend $2,300. 30% of 3,300 times 0.3. Okay. So now when I do my math here, 3,300 times 30%, this is going to give me $990. So this $4,000 bill, what am I responsible for? I am responsible for $700 and I'm responsible for $990. Okay. So I have to pay $1,600. Yeah, it sucks, but that's the way it is. Okay. That's the way it is. Now, I've paid $1,690 total. If I ever go into the emergency room, I don't have to pay another deductible. I just keep going. And I'm going to keep paying 30%, 30%, 30%. Once I reach 3,000, I'm done for the rest of that year. Okay. Rest of that year, I am done. All right. Now, let's change plans because this is possibly what happened. So let's get back in here. And let's say that you had this option, but you didn't want to pay a premium. I get a lot of clients. I don't want to pay anything. Okay. You don't want to pay anything. No problem. Let's say I'm in a silver plan, but let's say I go to a bronze plan. All right. Let's stick with the same company. Here is the Blue Cross, their bronze plan. I'm not paying anything. All right. But look what has changed. Okay. $5,500 deductible, $9,450 on the out of pocket. And let's go here, hit the benefits. All right. We're on this one particular plan. It's a bronze plan right here. Let's go to the emergency care. And now look, things are different now. Look at this, $950 per visit plus 50%. All right. I know my co-insurance is 50%. So now things have changed. Okay. I saved $15, but I screwed myself when I need medical coverage. Okay. So sometimes short-sightedness comes back and bites you in the butt. Okay. This is where I would be having a conversation with my insured and telling them, look, you want to save a measly $15? Look what's going to happen. When you go to the ER, you're going to pay $950. And then you're going to pay the deductible. And then you're going to pay the 50% coinsurance until you hit the max out of pocket. Is that worth $15 to you? And again, if you did this on your own, you don't know, well, that's too bad. You shouldn't have done it on your own. Why didn't you get an agent? And if your agent didn't explain this to you, well, that sucks. You have a bad agent. You got to get a good agent. All right. So let's go do the new math now. Okay. So we have, let me look at the numbers again, 555, 9450. All right. So let's get out of here and let's go do some new numbers. All right. Let's get in here and I'm going to erase this, erase this. All right, all this is erased. Now let's go with new numbers. Okay, so we have we have 5,500 on the deductible. We have 50% co-insurance. We have $9,450. And we saw with that one particular plan, a $950 copay. Huh, not a good thing. All right, so let's do this again. So let's go with that same $4,000 bill. Okay, the first thing is I got to pay $950. Okay, it's like a penalty for going to the ER. I don't know why they do that, but sometimes they do. So you pay the $950. Okay, let's go back. Okay, get out of here. Let's go look at this one more time. All right. So you need emergency care. You're going to pay $950 for that visit, plus the deductible, plus the co-insurance. Okay, not a good thing. Now, look, even if you're going out of network, you're going to do the very same thing. All right, so let's go do this math now. Okay, get out of here. Let's go back to my little whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to be on the hook for $950. All right, so I'm going to have to pay that. Yes, I'm super unhappy, but that's what I get for choosing the cheap plan. That's going to leave $3,050. Now, I have a deductible to meet of $5,500. Okay. This is under that deductible, which means I have to pay, which means overall, I've still on the deductible. I'm going to pay for this one particular visit. I'm going to pay 100%. So not a good thing. Not a good thing. All right. So yeah, that $4,000 bill, I'm on the hook for it. All right. Now the $950 just does go towards this $9,000. So remember, you have a $5,500 deductible. You have a max out of pocket of $9,450. When you pay this $950, it reduces this amount. And then on top of that, that's going to leave you with $3,050. That's going to go into this amount. So overall, what's going to happen is you're going to reduce this $9,450 by $4,000, which is going to make this as $5,450. What do all these numbers mean to you? You're paying 100%. Again, tell me, why was it worth it to save $15? Okay, at the immediate, okay, great. But then when you need the service, you're like, man, my plan sucks. It doesn't suck. That's the plan you chose. Okay, you should have chosen the other plan. Let's put these side by side. What you should have chosen doing a side-by-side comparison, is you should have chosen this $1,500. This $15 plan. It would have saved you big time. So again, a lot of the complaints that we get about Obamacare, these ACA plans, sucking, they're terrible, they don't cover everything. It's not the plans. It's usually you or your agent made a bad decision in your coverage. Okay, again, a lot of people they don't want to pay anything. They want to save money. So somehow in this world, saving $15 now kind of screwed the insured when they needed health insurance. You get what you pay for, kind of. So, I guess I'm being a little hard there, but that's a reality. I deal with this day in, day out with people. Okay, so it's not the plan, it's your choice. So what do you need to do as an insured is become educated. Spend some time. If you're doing this on your own, you need to spend some time and study the summary of benefits so you understand what you're getting. Okay. If you're dealing with an agent and they're not explaining this to you, well, consider getting another agent. All right. Or you should ask these very same questions. If I go to the emergency room, what am I going to be on the hook for? what am I going to have to pay? If I go to the hospital, what am I going to have to pay? If I go see a doctor, what am I going to pay? If I go see a specialist, what about the network? Are my doctors in the network or are my doctors out of the network? These are all legitimate questions that you need to ask your agent, or if you're doing this on your own, that you need to get the answers for. So I'm sorry that this happened to you. It's not a good thing. You can't do anything about it, but possibly consider switching to a different plan if it's possible. If you need help from us, we would be glad to help you. You can click down below. There's a link down there for you to click, and I would love to help you out. Thank you. Again, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.